Hey guys, welcome back to the Drone Camps channel. I'm Justin Davis, and today we're going to give you a first look at the new Furious Fpv Stealth VTX. This is a VTX that can transmit a Bluetooth signal over to your smartphone, Android or iOS, it doesn't matter which one. Download the Furious Fpv Imagination configurator, pair it up with your VTX, and you're switching channels and bands on the fly from your phone. No longer do you have to use that little push button and guess what channel you're on. Also what power you might be transmitting, but you can do that all from this little app, and it's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bench and give you a little closer look at the Stealth VTX. Okay, there it is, guys. One of the most coolest and amazing things I've seen come out, and I just keep saying that over and over because some pretty awesome stuff coming out this year. I mean, this fall is already pretty awesome. I mean, I have no complaints. Anytime I see something new from Furious Fpv, I kind of get a little bit excited, and really excited about this one. I had to have a copy of this to show you guys, mainly because you can use it with your smartphone. You can change channels and bands and do all that cool stuff right on the fly, and you don't have to use that little configurator button like we've been doing for the last several years, and guessing which channel or band you're on, and looking at that little piece of paper that we usually use. So throw that little piece of paper to the side, because in 2017 things are changing and we're able to use Bluetooth and an app now and have a nice visual. We can also change the power setting, and I'm going to show you that app in just a little bit. But first I wanted to run down for you what you're looking at here. It's very simple. There is a harness coming out this direction and 3 of these wires here, the orange, yellow, and the black one. Those are 5-volt video and ground coming out to your camera. These 2 wires here go out to your flight controller, and I just put a JST on here to power it up for you guys so that you can see what's going on here. You have this Bluetooth module with a harness here, and once this lights up, it's going to give you 2 LED statuses on here. You'll get an RX and a TX status, and it'll show you that Bluetooth is going out to your smartphone. So you have to turn on Bluetooth in your smartphone to connect to the app. And if you're using the Furious Fpv Fortini F4, this just solders right down to TX4, and that's going to give you your connection set up in beta flight once you activate the scripts. Now if we look on the back side of the VTX, you can see that little cable coming off right here, and this just connects over to your antenna very simply. And they do have 2 mounting points here on the quad. If you want to screw this down to the top of your quad, you can do that. But this can also pop off, and you can do some other type of dipole connector if you want to. I'm probably going to stick with using my cloverleaf antenna. And it's nicely heat shrinked over top of it, so it shouldn't pop off. If it does pop off, you can just snap it back on. If it breaks, it is replaceable. I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in for you so you can see the lights on the Bluetooth module and on the VTX itself. You see the 2 lights here on the outside edges. And the 2 LEDs blinking here, they give me an idea of what band and status I'm on. Right now it's blinking twice on the red and 5 times on the blue, so that's letting me know that I'm on race band. And I'm probably not going to use that or look at that while I'm racing or out in the field, mainly because I'm probably not going to remember these codes or these statuses, or always have that little manual with me when I'm flying. So I'm probably going to rely on the app for changing around my power settings and knowing what channel and band I'm on. After all, that's what this VTX is all about. And you can see right here in the manual, this VTX supports 9 different bands and 8 channels on those 9 bands. Quite a large range of bands on here. You're probably not going to find or be missing anything that you normally fly right here. So you have it all covered right here. And they have an example of how to set that up and what those LEDs mean up here at the very top of their manual. But just below that, we have the configuration setup, the way that you solder up your cables. And I spliced mine in to my RunCam Sparrow down there. And also, if you're going to use smart telemetry on here, a smart port, you're going to need an FrSky receiver that has an S port on there as well. So run that S port wire down to, let's see, the UART6. If you're using the Fortini F4, that's the way you're going to do that. And that white cable, like I showed you before, it's going to go over to TX4. Now when you first download the Imagination configurator for your VTX from the App Store, you're going to activate Bluetooth, you're going to open it up, and it's going to ask you to put in the default password. That's going to be 6 zeros right here. Once you do that, you can go in and change your profile. You can add your pilot name on here, and you can choose a unique password. It says to use a 12-character name and 6 numbers for the password. I'm not sure if that's right yet. I'm just going to try to make a standard password and then I'll move on. But it says hit back to your mobile and go back to the home menu. After that, you're going to choose your style. You can have a few different startup modes, which is super cool on here. You can do pit mode, which is going to knock it way down so low of a power range that you're not going to affect anybody out in the race. If anyone's currently racing and you start up in pit mode, you can go in here and make changes to your VTX on the fly without affecting other racers while having your quad powered up. That is pretty cool. So you also have freestyle mode, and you can choose your type of style, racing or freestyle, when you first load it up. I'm probably going to choose freestyle for mine, but it's still going to let me have all those different types of pit modes for my startup. And the pit modes, let's see if I can find those on here. The pit modes, there's 3 different pit modes. There's one for pit mode startup, which is that super low setting. It's going to transmit hardly any power, so you don't want to try to fly off in pit mode because you won't go more than a few feet. And then you have no power mode, which would start up with absolutely no power being transmitted from your VTX, which is also super cool for racing. And if you're just hanging out with some friends and you don't want to knock somebody out of the air, that's really nice. And then you also have the option to put it on normal startup mode, which is going to just transmit the full power that your configurator is set to for your VTX. Now, for those that are interested to see this, I will go ahead and put this up on the screen, and you guys can pause this if you're trying to set up your transmitter for your TARANIS, if you did get a hold of this. Now, it's pretty simple. You're going to go ahead and on UART 4, you're going to have IRC Tramp active in peripherals, and the next one down is UART 6. You're going to have Smart Port activated in the telemetry output. And for setting up the Lua script on the telemetry page, you're going to take the bf.lua file and you're going to copy that over to your scripts and telemetry folder on the TARANIS SD card. Once you do that, restart your TARANIS, and then you can go ahead and go into your TARANIS and activate the Lua script. And just go over to the telemetry page and activate that script in your TARANIS. Now, once you restarted your TARANIS, go ahead and go over to your telemetry screen, and you're going to activate this Lua script. You hold down the page button, and the Lua script is triggered by entering the telemetry screen on page 1. And you'll see that this pops up, and you'll be able to change your band, your channel, your power setting, and you can change your pit mode here. So you can put it on or off, which is super cool. And after you make a selection for any of these changes, go ahead and hold down, long press the menu button, and it'll save it to the radio. So now go ahead and go into the App Store and type in Furious Fpv, and you'll see Imagination Configuration app pop up, and go ahead and hit Get. Once you do that, you can select Open, and just make sure that you have Bluetooth active. And I already have everything plugged in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit Pair Device. And we're going to click on Stealth Race 1 Service. Okay. Now it's asking me for the password. That's going to be the default password. So we're going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And it should connect. Okay. Now it's asking me for my style. So I'm going to go freestyle here. And I'm in. So now I can change my power from 25 to 200 on the fly. Super nice. And you have the channel setting here, R1, frequency 5658, and it gives me my temperature of my VTX right here, which is super nice. It says 68 degrees. I don't know if that's Celsius or degrees. 69, so it's heating up on the bench. I can see that. 70. Now I can go to R2, R3, just like that. And further down we have a few more buttons down here. You see this one in the very middle? That's blinking. That lets me know that my VTX is connected to my Bluetooth and the app. That's pretty cool. So I can also stop it there if I want to start and stop the VTX, which is pretty wild. So I just stopped it from transmitting right there, and now I can start it again. And right now it's in normal startup mode, so I can click on that and I can change it to no power, or I can change it to pit mode. And I'm flying, I'm not racing a lot, so I'm just going to leave mine to normal. Okay, and we also have another option on here that says thermal protect, and you can change that on and off. So if it overheats, it's going to shut off hopefully before it overheats. Now if I'm changing channels here and I'm working with the race coordinator and I'm going to choose a certain channel, just go ahead and set right there, and now it's going to set to that R7 5880 channel. Now what happens if I want to change band, if I want to go to a different band? We see the 8 channels here, but what happens if I want to go to a different band? Pretty simple. I just go to the left there. There's F channel, there's E channel, there's B, there's A, and that was the very beginning of the bands. So I can scroll all the way through all the different bands there. And I'm going to just choose a different band. I'm going to go F2 there and set that. So now that's going to save it. Now I'm on F2, 5760, and I'm going to select 200 here. I'm going to set that. That's pretty cool. Now it is heating up since it's sitting here on the bench, so be careful that you don't overheat your VTX. If you have protection on, it should turn it off if you're getting too much heat to it, because right now it's already up to 90 degrees. So now that I did a setting and I saved my band right there on the F2 channel and 5760 and 200, let's go ahead and turn it off. Let's just go ahead and hit set one more time, and let's see if it remembers this startup mode and normal in my channel and frequency there in the power setting. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Okay. Let's turn it back on. Just going to go back to this screen right here. We'll go back to freestyle here. Now you also have the option to scroll through the different settings. If you wanted to go from freestyle to racing setup really quickly, you just scroll over to the right. You'll see save channel there, what you have currently saved, 200 milliwatt F2, 5760, and I can scroll over to racing really quickly if I want to switch up. Now I'm going to go ahead and set up my profile, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to click profile here, and right now it says stealth race, so I'm just going to click on that, click here, and I'm going to add Justin Davis. I'm going to save the disconnect from peripheral. So it overheated right here on the bench, so I'm going to let it cool off for a second and then I'll go ahead and pair it back up. So that's cool that I was able to show you that that does work. Okay, so I'll go ahead and plug it in now. It's been a few minutes, so it should be fine. Gonna give it just a minute. Okay, hit pair device. Now it says my name on there, Justin Davis. That's cool. One service. Click on that. Okay, now I'm back to the main menu, and I was setting up the profile before, and now I can set up a new password if I want to. I can go in here, change the old password, which was 0000000, and my new password will be, okay, so now I can go back, and it's asking me for my password, and I'll go ahead and enter that. And now it should let me into the configurator using my own password, so I can go back to what I had set up before. F2 5760 on 200, pretty cool. Now you can see that temperature is way lower than it was before. It actually got up close to 80 to 90 degrees there. I'm back down to 70 degrees. It's already rising though. So you want to use that little protection mode in the app as well to make sure you don't kill your VTX on the bench. Now I haven't used this on a race quad setup yet, so time will tell if this is going to be sturdy and reliable on a race quad. But I think from what I see here in the integration for SmartPort into the TARANIS scripts, and how easy it is to change channels and bands on the fly right here on your smartphone is really nice. Most of us have a phone on us these days, most times, so a very, very slick design from Furious, and I think a lot of people are going to dig this and probably start grabbing these up. So I would hop on FuriousFpv.com, read more about it for yourself. If you decide to get one, hey, get one and let me know how it does. I'm going to continue using this one, and if I see anything bad or I just really like it coming up this fall, I'll let you guys know how it's performing and how it's doing right here on the channel. Ask questions anytime as always, and thanks again for watching. I'm Justin Davis. I'll see you on the next one.